So I think we've all noticed and observed that we have these couples that's together, right? Everything seems good. They happy, prospering couple. And all of a sudden you throw a baby in the mix and it all fall apart. We seen it from the outside looking in. We seen it with Herb and Ari. We seen it with DDG and Haley, and the list goes on. These couples seem great. Everything's going good. Have a baby, and the whole thing falls apart. And I want to explore some of the reasons why that might be happening. And to me, I don't know. It's a couple reasons. When I look at it, I'm like, okay. In boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, from my experiences, even though we say we're going to be together forever, it still feels like I can walk away from this whenever I want. So it's a lot of your behavior. It's a lot of your ways that I can consistently look over, because in the back of my mind, I know I can leave whenever I want. And then this baby adds a sense of permanence that was like, okay, I really got to deal with this shit forever. Do I want to or not? And then the other thing is that for a lot of us who may have had kids out of wedlock, which the rate for that in America is 41%. In the black community is 72%. We're the outliers in that category. Yeah. And I got to own that because I contributed to that stat 2 times.
There's one for me.
But, however, for a lot of us having kids out of wedlock, we're in a relationship with a woman. Even if you're not in a relationship with that woman, you have a baby. You know, it's like she has her job, you have your job. She has her house, you have your house. She has her friends, you have your friends. And even if you mix friends and things like that, typically the only thing in life that you're sharing is a relationship. It's spending time together. So the baby is your first group project. It's the first time y'all both are working on something together. Mm-hmm. And like any group project, even back in school, whether you get an A or not, you want your motherfucking teammate to participate just as much as you. You could get an A and not be, it could be your best friend. It's like, nigga, I don't give a fuck what the grade was. You ain't do shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when you get in that relationship.
Be that motherfucker when you standing up in front of the class and motherfucker you start going off script. Like, what the fuck, nigga?
So when you get in that relationship and your partner is really looking at you when you have that baby, your partner is really looking at you and observing how much you're actually participating, and that can put a lot of pressure on both people. As a guy, a lot of times you might have done an 8, 10, 12-hour shift. You come home, she hand you the baby as soon as you walk through the door. Mm-hmm. And you like, damn, like, can I change? Can I get a shower? She's like, nigga, can I get a shower? This baby been on me all day crying. Like, I need a nap. You told me you need a nap, nigga. I need 30 minutes. Fuck is you talking about? But it's like, who's wrong? Nobody's really wrong in that scenario. And then for some guys, it might be a situation where you feel like, you know, I'm gonna go work some extra hours to make sure the baby we can afford daycare, make sure we can afford everything we need for the baby. I'm gonna work more. But then she like, well, nigga, you never here. Mm. But you like, how can I provide? How can I get the bread? I ain't getting paid to be in the crib with y'all. You know what I'm saying? But she like, nah, I need you here. So you could, as a man, you could end up in a situation that feels impossible. So today we're gonna talk about postpartum depression, what men need to learn about women and their experience in the first, you know, during the pregnancy and the phase directly after that.
If you lazy, you waking up at fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon and shit like that,
popping bottles,
you're setting the tone for everybody because you're the leader.
Popping pills.
That's just what comes with being a man.
Popping bitch ass niggas.
I don't want nobody making decisions over my life except me. Not a woman, not a judge, not an officer, not no motherfucker.
When them bullets hit him up, look like son had a seizure. Run up, give it up, you know the procedure. I be sipping Jack and honey.
I don't think nothing can make me feel like a man. I don't think nothing can make me not feel like a man.
Chains on my collar.
You can't take the benefits of being a man without the responsibilities.
Give you niggas halo, got it, kid.
Hey man, mix and match popcorn. Make sure y'all get y'all some mix and match popcorn, man. It's a black-owned, Chicago-based, fire-ass popcorn company. Mixandmatchpopcorn.com. If you want to order some cases of popcorn, you got an event coming up. Or you just like popcorn, want a bunch of popcorn in your house, they got a lot of, you know, big ass bags, small bags. I hit y'all with the white cheddar caramel mix last time. Now I'm hitting y'all with the hot one. Shit fire. Y'all still good? Now you want some popcorn? No, nigga, you can't have.
I'm doing it for
nigga.
the ad.
Come on, man.
Damn. Bad business, bro.
We doing a popcorn ad last week. He's like, nigga, I hate popcorn.
I didn't realize what was going on.
I was like, this nigga need media training. Fuck, bro.
Oh, let's do it over. Let's do it over. Like, no, we can't do it over.
This should have hit. Don't get back to him.
Fire.
Now, both of these niggas turned the popcorn down the whole
Only
time.
reason why because I didn't want to be in this motherfucker like.
All right,
Pop to this motherfucker like.
the episode over. I ain't gonna lie. I'll fuck around and order back of this.
No, I
Shit
definitely
fire,
want to.
dude. They got it at Jules Oscar. I be saying the order. You know, most of our followers is not in Chicago. But
Damn, you go direct to consumer, you get all your money.
all right, so welcome back to Roses I Did. Terry Rosen.
Jones.
We got a special guest, man.
Special guest.
Got a special guest, man. So this guest, we gonna run down the whole resume? Can we run down the resume? Do we even know the whole resume?
No, but we
don't
gonna
know we gonna try?
We gonna spit this shit.
Okay. Stylist,
Stylist. I'm fucking power actor.
Power Force.
Is that how you say that?
No, that's not how you said it. Fucked up. I don't know how you supposed to say it, but you fucked it up though.
Okay.
For sure.
This is a famous nigga.
Author.
Father.
Yeah. Designer.
Yeah.
Husband. Father.
Husband, for
You
sure.
said father already. And he part of the village, man. He definitely helped out all of our mentees. We had specifically one mentee, Kelly, who wants to be a stylist, so we took him to see Cory with the rest of the mentees, and he gave him a lot of fucking game. And I think what they took from you the most was how to get started with what they want right now and not waiting.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So without further ado, man, Cory DeMond on the show.
I appreciate y'all for having
Hit
me.
hit the horns, real.
So we had you specifically on this show for this episode because you are a new father.
Mhm.
And
She made 2 months Wednesday.
2 months.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
That's beautiful.
New father, husband, all of that thing. So you doing it the way that niggas is supposed to.
We should have
do
did it.
The way that we should have did it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to you.
Favor
You
and
had your
grace.
plan B's in order. I did not, man. Shout out to my boy.
Favor and grace, man. Favor and grace.
Love wins.
Favor and grace, man. Hey.
Now, how do you feel about, like, you did it the right way?
Mhm.
I'm not gonna act. I am gonna act. Like, was that intentional, or was it like, cause niggas can slip up? We had intention to do this shit right way, but you know,
we all,
I
you
didn't
know,
have intentions.
we all fall
Okay,
short
when
for
I was
grace sometimes,
20.
you know. But I just think that's how God written my story.
Mhm.
I always definitely wanted to be married with then have kids, just because I think at like around 21 I saw where I wanted to be in life, and I always like, man, I don't want to be on a red carpet with on somebody on my arm that doesn't fit my vision of like who I am and what I represent. So I kind of like, if you know someone like I got fake bougie as far as who chicks I dated or whatever, but it's just also being careful, and just favor, honestly.
Hey, you hear that?
Yeah,
What,
it's just hey,
I didn't
man.
have none, so you know.
Like, I
What
can't
say favor ain't fair?
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
smoked. I got the short end of the stick on that one.
Nah, man, it's just yeah. I can't. It's no. I can't say it was all me. It's just
No, for sure.
how it how things happen.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. How's y'all week?
Today is great. Today is better.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, yesterday was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened yesterday. I woke up and it's damn near like, you know. So I ain't gonna say that. So after the first quarter, I did a big event or whatever. And usually after when I do huge events, I go into this like weird depression where it's like, cause it can be at the event and I'm sitting here like, shit, I gotta do some crazy dope tomorrow. Cause it's like I coming down off this high and you have to do it again because you can't live on your past, experiences or your past wins or whatever. So it's like automatically like, all right, bam, I gotta do this shit all over again. And that shit is exhausting. So I was trying my best not to go into this in my like seasonal whatever depression shit. And that motherfucker was just slowly creeping up on my ass, dog.
Yeah.
And yesterday, I don't know what happened. And I was holding my baby and I was like damn near about to cry. I'm like, what the hell was wrong with me? And I'm like, and then I was seeing like certain things, like I seen, like I studied flaws of mine, my father's, my grandfather's, like people around me just to see like, damn, I don't need to pick up or do that habit that he did. So it's certain things that he used to do that was like dope, but he never did it. So it's like he used to talk about it, used to create it or whatever, but he never completed the task. And you know how the universe works. If you don't complete it, God will shift it and give it to somebody else. So he used to write songs. And
Who, granddad or
my father.
Okay.
He's like dope singer, dope writer. Used to be, I don't even want to go into his resume, but he used to write songs and it used to be dope. And then you'll go on the radio and you'd be like, man, this song sounds familiar, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Brian McKnight could write a song. He was like, damn, I had the same idea. It's like, cause you ain't put it out. So I found myself doing that with designs, with clothing designs, or if it's like movie ideas or just whatever creative person I am. I'm like, damn, I should have did it. Damn, I should have did it. And the last few days, that shit been coming up and it's been on a high level, like strong. And yesterday was just one of those like, God damn, man. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those like, it slapped me in the face. So I just, then I almost had a little mental like, and the homies saw the same situation I was looking at and they reached out like, you good? You straight? You good, bro? Like, you gonna be straight. It's like, that just lets you know you're on the same path. Don't trip, you can still do it. Like, don't over exaggerate because they know I'm gonna overthink it. But so yeah, just getting through those like small little.
Sound like you. I remember my therapist told me I was talking to her. She let me go off and shit. She was like, Reggie, I stopped. She's like, Reggie, you gotta stop catastrophizing shit.
The fuck is that?
What you was gonna do? What you was gonna do?
Yeah.
Like you looked at it, your homie like you good, and you was gonna blow it up way bigger in your mind. Like,
definitely did.
You fucked up, but you finna make it a huge deal, bigger than what it really is.
Right.
And I used to do that shit too. So like, that's relatable.
I'm good at that. Then.
For sure. It's I feel like I've had those moments to where I'm always thinking about what's next.
I've seen. I was gonna say that I've seen you do that in the moment. Like we'd be having an event or some shit, and you're not present. You're not there.
Yeah.
You like you in the future already at the moment.
And now you know that
all the time.
You know that. Yeah, that's a bad space to be in. Because like I mean you can tell me you relate to this because in those moments when you're in your head like that at your event, people at your event super happy for you. They want to come up, they want to talk to you, they want to take a picture, and you could possibly be coming off like cold to people because you're not present, and you just kind of like, hold on, let me check to make sure the audio right. Let me check to is this right? Is this right? Or you thinking about whatever's next, and they like, damn, can you take a picture? Like, can you like slow down? Ooh. And you might be coming off kind of like asshole, especially to somebody who don't know you as well. So I feel like this last event, I ain't gonna say just the last event, but the last couple events we've done, I finally got to a place where I'm just like, we get here, I'm gonna stress the fuck out before the event starts.
Yeah.
Once the DJ's on music, I'm man, fuck it, bro. Yeah. It is what it is. Fuck it. I don't care.
I'm just so big on like, and I feel like, I'm gonna say I feel like this is Chicago people or the Chicago aura. We live on past accomplishments too long. And we get comfortable and we celebrate mediocrity. It's like, like I don't care this person wrote a hit song in 1999, bro. That nigga ain't did shit since. Why is we stay you know what I'm saying? Hey, there go. I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Like, or the dude, it's like the dude that we used to hoop with. You know what I'm saying? They be like, man, back in the day, I'm like, bro, you ain't what you did today.
Yeah.
And I always don't want to be that person that's always bringing up old stuff that I've done. And I'm trying to like set a tone or a caliber of what I want to, you know, create and do. And it just be like, just every time it gets greater.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and that pressure sometimes comes on you. And a lot of my people would be like, bro, you just got to live in the moment. You got to enjoy your wins in the midst of it. And then once it's over with, bro, you ain't failed yet.
Yeah.
And just keep, you know, it happens, and but it's just the perfectionist, and you just want to be like,
yeah, and it's working because it's like I think it's a good thing when people don't know what to introduce you as because you've done so much. You know what I'm saying? Versus like I can say like, oh, he got a clothing line. It's like I gotta be like, this nigga do a lot of shit. Like if I tell somebody, you know who Cory Demond is, they be like, no, who is he? They be like, you do a lot of shit, bro. You just got like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I had to argue with a event planner one time. Man. It was, you know how you get the picture and you put the names at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I'm gonna put creator, a designer or something. I'm like, no, nigga, put all my shit underneath. Like, just make it minimize the font,
right?
Because you added more. Like, I don't want to be put in a box, dog. So,
For sure.
man, put all my accomplishment on there. Figure it out. Cause if I don't want to just say put mogul on there, then you can be like, that thing ain't no mogul.
All right.
But that's the goal I set out to be when I first created that shit. My first business card, nigga, it had author, mogul,
philanthropist,
actor, and model on it. Nigga, I wasn't an author yet. Nigga, I seen mogul under like Russell Simmons' name or some shit. And I, you know, I used to watch the VH1 shit. It was like the mogul of business, mogul shit. I'm like, damn, I want to be that.
Yeah.
So I fucking put on my card.
That's dope.
So I just spoke it to this. So now when all these things happen, it's like, bro, you gotta give me what I deserve. I need all my shit.
All the flowers.
Manifesting some shit with a business card is different. This one chick on TikTok emailed herself and set it to like send like 5 years. Damn. Like she just got it like a couple months ago. She got an email that she emailed herself 5 years ago, and it was about where she wanted to be, and like she had surpassed everything in the email.
Ooh, that's fire.
Shit was cold.
I do that. I do that on Twitter. I'll be like, I'm gonna book the next role gonna change my life, or like I'm gonna do this, and then I go back and like see it, like if it came to pass. It definitely like it was too specific. I'm like, that's dope.
That's dope as fuck. How was that week, brother?
My week, a little bit of I don't know. My week was but my rating of 10. I rated my shit probably like a 4. I ain't gonna lie.
A 4 out of 10?
4 out of 10.
A 4 out of 10.
I just got some coochie this week.
Say what?
I hate this guy.
I thought you got some coochie this week.
Oh, I knew I heard that. I just want to
heard it.
I don't know if the camera.
Let me see. Because I constantly, throughout the week, I got some news that I didn't want to hear or whatever. And so.
Got another kid on there?
Hell no.
Oh, okay.
We don't play that much.
No, I'm just
Huh?
What happened? Talk the test results?
Let me just say what the fuck going on.
What did he say?
So you got a kid on the way?
Damn.
Look, man,
right,
I didn't get the engineering job that I want.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I wasn't even gonna say that shit. I gotta come in.
See how life could be worse though? That's what I be talking about.
Right.
See, shit could have been way worse.
Point. You know what I'm saying? So I just been constantly having to pull myself out of like ruts, like the depression or whatever. And I'm good at doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I've been doing it for so long. I feel like this last disappointment, it was like, I was like, whatever, man. Like I just kind of like let my hands go type shit. Even though I'm not like a controlling person, but it was like that one. I don't know, it just hit different because I've been working so hard.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
knocked the wind out you a little bit.
Yeah, for sure it did. And I just been having to make a conscious effort to put myself in a good mood. I had to make a conscious effort to not be idle. I ain't woke up. We wake up at 5 a.m.
Right.
I ain't wake up at 5 a.m. none this week. Like I wake up and be like the depression to be so heavy.
Right.
Fuck it. I lay back down. I get up around 8, 9, and then I start to feel like myself around like 11. But I'm like, fuck. Now I'm mad because I wasted my whole motherfucking day type shit. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I know people wake up at 9 o'clock, but I done had 6 hours on you by now. So it just been like a rough week to pull from that, and it also challenges me, and it puts me in a position because this is the type of stuff we talk about. Like when you in these type of positions as a man, number one, my faith. You know what I'm saying? I pull from my faith. Yeah. And this was, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be this was the first time it's like, damn, I'm the nigga who always talking about God is good, God, have faith, ooh. But I'm constantly getting, hit. And it's like, come on, God, you know what I'm saying? I'm bigging you up out here, you know.
You trying to tag him into the tag team. He ain't taking the tag. He don't want to smoke.
Help me, nigga.
It's like when the Hulk was trying to come out, he was like, nah.
No. No.
Hey, you dirty for the boys.
No.
That's what it felt like, man.
Help me.
So
that was hurt.
It just it just knocked the wind out of me. But at the same time, I've been here before, and I know what to do. I hit bro up, Terry. He got me back on track, and I knew to do that. But him telling me to do it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, cool. And
that's good to have.
Yeah, for sure.
Someone like a tribe, someone that can just pour into you.
Yeah, definitely.
You ever heard Bill Belichick thoughts on goals versus systems?
Mm-mm.
So Bill Belichick was the Patriots, you know, they was back to back all that shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, most of us, we set goals and we do whatever it takes. So we set the goal and then we reverse engineer, like, what does it take for me to hit this goal? So they don't set goals. So it's no like, oh, we're gonna win a championship, we're gonna Super Bowl. They just say we're gonna do these things all the time. And if we know what it takes to be a champion, we're gonna do these things all the time. And we're gonna end up being champions because we do these things. But we're not setting the goal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you have the goal, like, oh, this our year, we're gonna win a Super Bowl, and you put extra energy in and you don't win, imagine how it's gonna be coming back to training camp. Like, you know what I'm saying? Versus we do this shit all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So whether we win or lose Super Bowl, practice at 5, nigga. You know what the fuck going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I heard that shit so long ago, and I tried to implement it, and it's we could talk about the strategy of it, but it's an emotional thing as well. And I couldn't do it at first until, you know, over the years with the podcast, it's been so many championships of the Derrick Roses and you know, the rappers, and oh, we gonna work with you, we gonna come on the show, we gonna we starting a media company and we want you to do this, it's been so much of that shit that doesn't work, or like that shit go cold, that is just like, bro, I gotta just do the work. Like, we just gotta do this. The show gotta come out every Saturday. We gotta record it every Thursday. Gotta get edited this day. Like, you know what I'm saying? We gonna make a marketing budget. Like, we gonna just come with this system and we gonna get there. And even if none of them calls ever happen, we're still growing at the rate we're growing. Now, if one of that shit come through, we gonna spike. But we got a system and that shit is gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
You gave me the you gave me the analogy, like, nigga, treat it like fitness. I'm real big in the gym and shit. And
Definitely not.
that's the like, yeah, no, said not my ministry. But now, like, for the past 5, 6, 10 years, like, I had an idea of what I want to look like, but that's so blurred. I just know I don't give a fuck what's going on. I'm going to the gym. Like, it's so a part of me. It's so the thing. And then now I'm looking up and I see, like, you know, I see some good ass results type shit. But to me, it didn't come out of nowhere, but I just been doing the thing for so long. Now it's starting to show up. Yeah. And so I just got to treat everything like that. And that's going to be a conscious effort for me to translate that gym mentality into everything I do.
Absolutely. Real quick, Jody, can you, it sound like Carter up and woke. He just was asleep. Can you check on him and tell him he can play his game? He can ride control out of my room and play his game? All right, cool. No, the bottom, yeah. My week was very emotional. Very, very emotional week, man. Like a happy tears. I didn't cry, but it was like a tears of joy type of week. It was very emotional. I don't know. It was a few things, man. So I talk about this on the show numerous times, but y'all know I really kind of lost faith in God and shit like that. Around like 2016, 2017. My first couple years of teaching in Inglewood. And I started to question shit, like when I was going through shit that was personal to me when I was younger, like 17, 18. But I kind of just completely lost faith. It's not that I didn't believe God existed. I always knew God existed. I was like, this not the nigga that y'all telling me he is. Like, all of that saving nigga. Because I'm looking at the kids. I'm looking at what they going through in Inglewood. I'm looking at, you know, kids that live in crack houses. Kids got to choose between eating and school. We talk about the stories all the time. My friend called me and made me listen to him. Like, maybe someone phone he committed suicide. My other friend called me and was getting chased down and shot at, and I heard him, you know what I'm saying, die on the phone. Or I saw my daddy die. I saw this person die. Like, and it's just like, bro, like, you typing God, nigga, wake the fuck up. You see this shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? You got a homie call you, like, yeah, I just got a raise, nigga. I make $200K now, nigga. They got dreams and nightmares playing in the background. It's like, this shit we praying for. God, look at that. Glory to God. It's like, this shit don't make sense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you think about, like, these kids pray and they mamas pray and shit. Everybody know about this Chirac drill shit. It's grandmas all across the country praying for these kids. And like, this shit is going bad. And that's what kind of shook my faith for years. Up until recently. But throughout that whole time, we podcasting and shit. Not that whole time, but through a lot of that time, we podcasting and shit. And as we built up, everything was difficult. Like, we made it work and we grew, but everything was difficult. We had to work and fight for everything. We had success. We went on tour, all type of shit. But everything was very difficult. And we made it happen, though. But recently, when we started doing the mentorship, when we started doing the village, when we decided to do Rose Gold and the aftermath for Rose Gold, this is the easiest shit I've ever done in my life. Like, it's still tedious work, but I mean, as far as like the doors that's opening and, you know, we got a call, this nigga work for Obama Foundation, this motherfucker from the mayor office, and it's just like, damn, this shit ain't never been this easy. And it just kind of made me realize, like, damn, like, it sound like God just worked through people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you set out to help somebody, God is gonna make it easy. Cause this shit it's never been this easy before. Like, never. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Go ahead, my fault.
So yeah, it just was, it was dope on that platform. And also the Patreon, like, I've been super grateful for that. And that's something that I think about on a daily. I don't really say, you know, talk too much about it, but just realizing that, like we talked about, I was a little drunk while we was talking about it, like how when a shorty hit me up and say like, hey, I'm hungry, can you send me something to eat? Woo, woo. Can you send me an Uber, do this, do that? That shit before was like, all right, after so much of that shit, it's like, you fucking with my bread for real now. Like, you know, so I'm like, is you trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like what's going on? And I remember this one particular kid used to always ask me for Ubers and shit. And it got to the point, I'm like, nigga, just stop going places you can't get back from. Like, what's going on? But I know he in the streets and shit. And it's like, you want to set a boundary with it, but at the same time, I don't want to ever say, nah, I can't do that. And then you get that phone call the next day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I would always do it, but it'd be fucking me up, like, financially, because the shit'd be so much, and I work with so many different kids who need shit. But now with the Patreon, it's like, bro, we don't use that money for personal shit. So it's just like, I could just send you whatever the fuck you need. You know what I'm saying? And that shit is just like not having to think about that, not having to feel no guilt about it, not having to question, is he really hungry? He trying to get high? I don't give a fuck. If you need it, you good. And particularly like one particular mentee who's in a situation where he kept asking me for food. And I'm just like, nigga, we going grocery shopping tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And we was able to walk in the grocery store and be like, nigga, you put whatever you want to put in this cart. Like, whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? And Patreon paying for that just because they feel like, oh, man, I like this podcast. I fuck with Rose, I did. I fuck with Jones, fuck with Terry. I'm going to pay $8 for this. I'm going to pay $5 for this. And it's like, they probably don't even realize the impact they have on people's life. You feel me? Because, like, I remember being in that situation. And that was the most emotional part for me, because I remember being in that situation where, like, nigga, you live somewhere you're not supposed to live at. You in somebody's space. They eating every day, but they not feeding you, though, because you ain't supposed to be there. So it's like, niggas going to eat. They gonna make sure there ain't shit left for you, or put that shit in the refrigerator, and you know you can't touch that shit. And but you here though, you hungry, you on the couch, whatever it is, nigga. And then if you go get some food and put it in the refrigerator, somebody might eat your shit. And if you got a problem with it, you could get the fuck out.
Facts.
That's a fucked up situation to be in. To make you feel like an animal or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a dog or some shit. And it's like, it's a devaluing experience, especially when when you got your parents that live 10 minutes away type shit. You know what I'm saying? So to see a shorty that's like the same age I was in that situation and be able to just go in the fucking store and be like, nigga, just get whatever you want. You know what I'm saying?
That situation you just talked about, that was you?
That was me as a shorty.
Yeah.
For a minute. And then it's a shorty we dealing with right now that's pretty much in the same situation. Like, but even having that understanding, like, bro, if you want to couch or something, you gotta buy certain shit. You gotta buy canned goods. You gotta like buy white grape juice, the juice that you don't got to put in the refrigerator, Mr. Pure waters and shit. You can't get shit like, you can't do orange juice because you ain't got a refrigerator. Like, just understanding how all that shit work and how difficult of a space that is to manage and navigate. You know what I'm saying? You got to buy shit that you could put in your book bag. You know what I'm saying? To put to the side that you could microwave or some shit like that. Like, or that you could just eat straight out of can, or like whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to be able to meet a shorty that's in that predicament and just be like, whenever you call me for whatever, we got it. Like, you can have it. You know what I'm saying? And now we like trying to get him in trade school. So I'm like, damn, we got to teach him how to drive. And I ain't had time. So I hit Jody and Ramy like, oh, we going to teach him how to drive. He good. Woo, woo. So it's just like, that village shit is real. Like, you know what I'm saying? And everybody is participating in their own way. And it's just like, you know, we got other mentees and shit, but it's just like, that particular situation is just like a real. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, it's just like, you know, I know he going to win. He got that work ethic and shit like that. And it's just like, I'm just happy to see.
That's dope. That's favor. That's dope. So, are you back you still have a relationship with God now, or are you still in that seat?
No, I feel like this shit, like, and I'm gonna credit Jones for it, because I feel like he talk about God so much, bro. Like, you know, sitting next to this nigga for a year, just like, all right, fuck, don't go to church. You know what I'm saying? Like, Like, you know what I'm saying? But I would credit them for that. But then also, like, I just think the whole experience of putting that Rose Gold event together and how, like, that shit wasn't looking good. And I'm like, damn, you know, we put the ticket sales so you can pay what you want. So you can pay $1 to get in if you want. And everybody like, man, you know, motherfucker, just easily pay that $1 and y'all won't make no bread on this event.
Right.
But it's like, you can pay up to $1,000 though. But everybody had the option. And that shit was slow at first. And I'm just like, all right, I make enough bread. I can just pay for this shit out my check. My job hit me like, hey, we doing pay cuts. It's like a month before the event, 2 months before the event. They're like, we doing pay cuts. I'm like, shit, this shit ugly. Like, man, like right when we needed that shit started flowing in. Chris Jones hit us with he did the food, hella food in that bit. We threw food away. Like all that shit for free. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about the floodgates just opened up and I'm just like, that shit like really kind of brought me back in the space to it. And I was already going to church for like 2 months maybe.
For sure.
And that shit kind of really brought me back in the space. So like, all right, this shit real. Like, all right, you good. Like, we good, man. I see how this shit work now. But dudes, I understand it now.
I understand. Do you think that systems situation you're talking about, do that operate in the streets or in that world as well too?
You talking about the systems versus goals?
Nah, yeah, because it's like if like these kids or the streets or whatever, if they operate in certain realms as far as the system that they operating in, it has a equation of what's gonna happen if you keep operating in that.
Yeah.
So you think that's that falls in that same world, like as far as everything that bad things happen?
You get what he's saying?
Not exactly.
Yes. So
go ahead.
So absolutely, like in the streets, in that realm, in that world, it's two different things.
Right.
So the road that they walking, the practices that they're doing, even if it ain't happening now, like we all know, you gonna either end up like dead or in jail. And it's starting small, it's little things that you're doing consistently. You making consistent, small, bad decisions. I remember somebody told me that like failure is not like this grand big thing. It's a bunch of small errors in judgment repeated daily. So that's what's happening to these kids in the streets, and then it leads to a big failure.
Even in certain situations where they can't even control the system that they in, because some of these kids is born into you know, at-risk youth or the house they get in, mom on drugs, some of the situation. But it's just the trickle-down effect. It's like, shit.
It's just harder for, like, so, and even though that's unfortunate and it's not fair, they don't have any control over it, that system's still in place. Right. Like, if you do the thing or if you're in this environment, it's likely to end up happening to you, even if you don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Because life ain't fair. Right. That's why it's so special. That's why it's such a big deal when anybody come from the hood and like kind of break through that stratosphere and you get to that next level. That's not something to look over. You know what I'm saying? Like you really made it out of some shit, because so many kids is, you know, you was in that same situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you make it through. That's why you got so much, you know, pride and empathy and, you know, that drive to give back. That's why your heart is big as it is that's why that mentee, that's why he got such an effect on you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you made it out of that. Yeah. Like for you to be a college graduate with your background and where you came from, that's where that will come from. To like, man, I got to help this boy. I got to do this. I got to do that. So
yeah,
that's dope.
And there's certain people at certain points that help me too. You know, that's why he always be like, man, bro, like I really appreciate this shit. I'm gonna pay. I'm like, nah, bro, just help somebody else.
For sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just I was indebted to somebody and I paid it forward to you. So you pay it forward to the next person.
Being able is a luxury, man. A lot of people don't have that opportunity to one give like you have, or one able to chase their dreams.
Yeah.
To, you know, have that freedom to, you know, create this platform or be able to go to the gym consistently, you know what I'm saying? Or like creating understanding what Patreon is and bringing that system to yourself to able to give and do others. So that, like I said, that able is a luxury that most don't have and most probably won't even see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say too, to your question about the systems with the streets. I can't say that where I didn't really walk that road. You know what I'm saying? I could assume, but I will say that one thing about young guys in the streets, and I want them all to understand this if they listening. You playing a game where you have to be right every time, and whoever going against you only have to be right once, and it's over for you. it's not a smart game to play. You gotta, when you walk out the crib and you into it with these niggas, you gotta drive down the right block. You gotta go the right way. You gotta not go to that party. You gotta be right all the time. The niggas looking for you gotta be right one time. The police gotta be right one time, bro. And you gotta be right you got probably 15 decisions you make every day that you have to be perfect on to not lose your life or your freedom. And the people against you got to be right one time on one day, and you smoke. It's not a smart game.
Out of them 15 decisions, the one time that you wrong gonna be the one time they right.
So you either gonna quit. So motherfuckers say dead end jail, and it's so cliche because you hear it from so young. It's like, and I remember this right. You gonna end up dead end jail? It's like nigga around my block are winning. Fuck is you talking about? This nigga got all the mics, like, but then you got to stick around long enough to see, like, oh, he did end up dead in jail. Like that teacher was right, but your youth and arrogance, you can't see that. But it's like, nah, bro, like you're not gonna keep making the right decision every day. You're gonna be wrong at some point, or you could just quit the game.
Yeah,
shit, you on your rich power shit.
Yeah. So let's get into the actual topic, man.
Let's do it.
Let's get into the actual topic. Let me see, man. I got this shit booted up. All right, so postpartum depression is a mood disorder. It's a mood disorder that can affect both the birthing person and their partner, characterized by persistent sadness, anxiety, and fatigue that can make it difficult to care for themselves and the baby. All right, it's a more severe and prolonged form of depression compared to temporary baby blues, as it's called, when many women experience after childbirth. So they're saying that this can start taking effect during the pregnancy, and some, like I think Mayo Clinic said it's 2 weeks after pregnancy. The National Cancer Institute said 6 weeks. The International Medicine Library said another, you know what I'm saying, said up to 2 years. Up to a year. So it's different dates and all of that for this. Now, when it comes to postpartum depression, I feel like in the Black community, everybody feels the need to be strong, right? So we talk about it for men all the time. Like, we can't, we got to be strong. We look weak going to therapy. We look weak reaching out to this person, that person. But women experience that too. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to taking care of the household. If you raise in a family where it's a single mom, you see that strength, that, you know what I'm saying, playing both roles, getting everything done, not really complaining about the shit, you know what I'm saying, not breaking down. And to the point where it's normalized, you think like, shit, mama got it. She ain't even tripping for real. But it's like, and she put that front on. So how do y'all feel that plays a role? Because when we talk about postpartum, we're talking about a mental health disorder.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we equate it to that.
No.
When you hear postpartum, we hear it thrown around so much. It's like, oh, she just had a baby. She, her body different. She'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about a real mental health disorder though.
Yeah.
So how do y'all think the stigma of mental health in the Black community affects that?
I didn't, like you said, even me, I didn't associate mental health disorder with postpartum depression.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it as like a chemical imbalance, or this is truly changing this person's personality. Like my first thoughts on it was, oh, she emotional. Oh, she, you know what I'm saying? She tweaking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She going through a bad mood. She irritating right now.
Every day be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like what are you crying for? You know what I'm saying? You ain't got shit to cry about. It's not making sense in my logical mind why you have an attitude with me, why you spazzing out, why you resenting your own baby. It's like, your ass tweaking. You know what I'm saying? So to be educated on this is a mental health disorder, it shifts the narrative of, you tweaking to, how can I help you? Like, how can I be here and, make this a safe environment for you, the baby, because you're not you right now. Like, and I got to give you grace because it's a mental health disorder. Like, I understand, I get it, so we got to start the conversation that it's attached to mental health.
For sure.
Yeah. I honestly don't see how women do this by themselves. Like I told you, my baby just turned 2 months. Seeing what it takes to just, you know what I'm saying, because this is our first kid. We figuring it out as we flow.
For sure.
Yeah.
You take all the classes you want, read all the books. Like my whole Instagram feed is babies.
Yeah.
Babies' clothes and so it's like, you learning new things every day. And I reflect and go back looking at my mom, seeing how she did it. And then looking the type of girl my wife is and how she just like an overachiever and get things done. I just try to we talk with the kids. My biggest thing is just to fill in the void because I don't really know what postpartum is. Like I it's words that they speak over us.
Yeah.
And I'm so big on praying against it.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's like we calling the kids at-risk youth and like don't call that boy that.
Yeah.
Or she got post, don't call that lady that. You know what I'm saying? And if it is, I'm praying against it. Like I'm working towards a system to not have, or if she does go through it, she can go through it with grace without having to do as much. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like if I'm laying in the bed and the baby crying, if there's some milk in the refrigerator already, you don't gotta get up.
Mm-hmm.
If my what size shift, I'm a night owl. If I got the baby until I fall asleep or whatever, and put her if she's laying on my chest or she's laying in the bassinet or laying in her crib, whatever, I gotta make a system where I got that shift, and then that late night shift. If you have to feed her, because that's something you have to do, you can take care of that, and then I'm up because I never woke up. I'm not a morning person, bro. Mm-hmm. I was made a morning person. Now, like 4, 5 o'clock, I'm boom. Get the baby. I'm super nigga. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. Like, dang, that's all it took for a baby to get me up this early, like the millionaires. Like, so now I got my book by the crib thing. I'm doing things, knowing how to multitask. So it's really just trying to like do everything in my power to like take that load off her because she's gonna do it. Like she's one of the people just gonna do it.
Yeah.
She's not gonna ask for help. She's not gonna like, and if she does say it once and I don't do it, she's gonna do it, and then it's gonna piss me off. Then we're gonna have an old argument about you doing it, let me do it type thing. So it's just try to like, one thing I used to learn from working with women and having women raise me. Sometimes you gotta be two steps ahead. And just you already know what needs to be done. You already know what, you know what I'm saying. And then she like you acting like you. I feel like, and it's just maybe just me. I automatically think she knows what's going on, what we supposed to be doing with this baby. And that's a huge assumption that nigga she ain't watched this movie before. She's figuring this thing out just with me, but it's just such a like, babe, what we doing? She like, nigga, I don't know.
Yeah.
But she gonna figure it out. So I try to get on path and get on board with her to like just shit, man. Who don't want a clean house? Let's clean this house up.
Yeah.
And then you learn how to do certain things so quickly because sometimes them baby windows they lay down, nigga.
Yeah.
They popping back up.
You gotta take advantage of that.
So now you
lay down with them.
So now you running trying to clean up, throwing stuff, clean up, make sure, you know what I'm saying? Or you just, right before she get up, you just want it. I'm gonna let her see them clothes right there. I'm gonna let her see that. I was leaving diapers on the thing, keeping the heat wipe thing up, you know what I'm saying? So now she told me about that once. I'm like, I gotta get on it. Yeah. Now I'm over on her, pulling her diaper down and stuff like that. So it's being a help, doing that part. But like I say, that word, people speak his words and science and stuff that they speak on us, and I try my best not to let that be something that I take on. You know what I'm saying? Like I got this. No, I don't got postpartum. I'm gonna speak against it.
For sure. I think 2 things you said stood out to me. One, expecting her to know what to do because she's a woman.
Bruh.
That could be toxic. I was blessed. Like Carter mom, Casey mom, they did know. Like especially in Carter mom, we lived together, and she just knew. It was so easy. She just knew what to do all the time. Like you know what I'm saying? And it was a real blessing. The other thing you said was grace. And I want to get into why it's important for men to understand postpartum depression, right? And, we're going to talk about it a lot here, but I encourage every man watching this to go do some research on your own. Quick Google ChatGPT, talk about it, ask ChatGPT a direct question about it, what you want to know about it. But grace. It's easier. Grace comes from understanding, right? It's easier to give somebody grace and patience when you understand what's going on. If we're in the house together and we know that granddaddy just passed away and mom's hurt and mom's is just overly got an attitude on everybody else, it's easier to give mom some, like we know what's going on, so it's like we cool, like let's give mom some space, let's woo. But if we didn't know and she was just came to the crib on bullshit, you know, so whatever case may be, it's like, what the fuck going on? Like, what the fuck she on? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it works the same way in a relationship. Like, if you can understand, if men understood more what a woman go through, whether we want to, even if we speak against it, if we want to just understand like why the emotions are different, how she might feel about her body changing, how she might feel about all the responsibility, how difficult breastfeeding is. Like, we don't know what that shit feel like. Like they like, that shit hurt. That shit. But you know what I'm saying? They act. This is something that they want to do to give their child, to nurture their child in the best way.
Shift.
Yeah. So it's just understanding that is very, very important to have grace.
When to have grace, like you said, the most important thing is to understand.
Yeah.
And as men, we so logical. Like if it don't make sense, get it the fuck out of here, right?
Yeah.
So it's two scenarios, right? You and your child's mom, y'all in the crib or whatever, and this scenario, you know how to understand it.
Yeah.
You leave the refrigerator open. She flips the fuck out. Like, what's going on? Ooh. And now you start an argument. You get the cussing her out and everything. And she right now, she's dealing with postpartum depression, right? So you cussing her out. Y'all having an argument, whatever the case may be. Boom. Like she asks you to, she asks you to do something. Right now, she asks you to put the milk in the refrigerator. Or you're forgetting little shit. Or you just doing small things that normally, not even dealing with the baby. It could be like normal household responsibilities. And like I said, you just forgetting something, and she's just taking it over the top, and it's pissing you the fuck off, and you cussing her out, you doing this and everything because you don't understand that she's having a major chemical imbalance in her body and brain right now. She's not even her for real. Yeah. So you internalizing this as you're attacking me, you on bullshit, you just trying to pick an argument. That's you know how to understand it.
That's also tricky too, because you also don't want to be like, okay, she going through postpartum, and she like, nigga, I ain't going through that shit. You just ain't close the motherfucking refrigerator. So it's just, you can't tell a woman like, you tripping right now. No, I'm not tripping. You tripping. Like, so
I can see that.
Weird situation to be in, bro.
Look, like, you fucking up the scenario.
My bad.
He said, I ain't
but I just had to like,
you say close the fucking refrigerator.
No, nigga, I'm not depressed right now.
Right.
Clean up after yourself.
Clean up after yourself, lazy motherfucker. Go ahead. I'm sorry, bro. But,
oh, that was funny. But like scenario 2, all of these same things is happening. She's still going off on you, but you not only do you understand, you aware, you know exactly what's going on with her. And since we don't experience it on their level. Like I heard that men can experience postpartum depression. I'm not gonna say that we can't because I didn't experience it. But since the majority of us don't, I feel like you can use your same logical brain and just like kind of remove. Okay, I understand she's dealing with postpartum depression, chemical imbalance, or whatever. She's probably doing that shit right now. I'm gonna ignore all of this shit, her spazzing out, and I'm gonna approach the situation with grace. I'm gonna approach the situation with a nurturing. You know what, baby, my fault. I got it. Go ahead and sit down. Let me go ahead and do this for you. Boom. And taking the initiative on things. I feel like during that season, yeah, it's gonna be irritating, but us as men, we're not dealing with that, depressed, all of that shit. So we can kind of work through and navigate the emotions for her and just push that shit to the side. Like we gotta do the shit. Like some people gotta do it at work.
yeah.
Like you gotta do it in all these other environments where you gotta bite your tongue. You gotta just do what the fuck you supposed to do. Do the same thing for your woman while she's going through this season, and just make that experience for her as easy as possible.
For sure. So men, and doing the research for this episode, men can go through postpartum depression. A lot of men do. I think it presents different. It looks different. We don't acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it, the onset of it usually occurs if it's a lot of relationship problems before the baby get there, or some financial issues.
Okay.
And he's not meeting his,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? He's not able to provide what he want to provide. And he's, of course, a lot of us attach our identity to our wallet, attach our identity to our ability to provide. And if you falling short in that area and this woman sitting here looking at you, you know what I'm saying? That becomes an issue. Also, a lot of men feel silence in their relationships. Baby or not. A lot of men don't feel comfortable expressing themselves to women, to the woman they dating, and it might be because she dismisses him or whatever the case may be. I used to look at it like, nigga, you a grown ass man. How the fuck you don't feel comfortable telling somebody how you feel? But might not be that you scared of the woman, but you might be afraid of how this woman is gonna view you as a man after you say how you feel.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Against you in the situation.
So my thing with men that are having a hard time, because I don't want to disregard how niggas feel, because that happens too often. I do feel like you gotta find other outlets to take care of your mental health, and you have to not prioritize over hers, because you got to make her the priority in that moment, in that season for sure. But we to go through life and not prioritize our mental health at all. Like, we don't give a fuck about our mental health. So that's the time where you gotta put your mental health up there in the list of priorities somewhere as well. And you know, whether it's you seeking community or therapy outside of that relationship, because a lot of times it could feel like when you pouring into your girl and it's a season like that to where you gotta keep pouring into her and you don't have it because you working, because you have whatever else stress you had going on in life. It could feel like, okay, just because what you're going through is worse than what I'm going through, don't mean I'm not going through what I'm going through.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you gotta, but you also can't expect her to uplift you right now. Like, you gotta go find that community or that therapy, whatever you need, somewhere outside of that situation. It might be journaling or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know, one thing we miss before the baby gets here and stuff like that. And since I grew up, my village, my personal village, my family, I couldn't pray for a better one. It's top tier. Like, I have no complaints or whatnot. Now, before a baby gets here, what are you doing? What? No, before a baby get here, this nigga sneaky. Before a baby get here, I don't think we think about, as young men, young women, older men, older women, you're not really assessing the situation you're getting yourself into. One thing I be really paying attention to, if I'm interested in a woman, like, what's your family village like? You know what I'm saying? How y'all, because I know we're going to need them and eventually.
No,
You know what I'm saying? So in the event, like for me, I probably didn't go through postpartum depression because my village was so tight and they were so watching me. They knew when I was running out.
Yeah.
My sisters would be like, "What you doing? I'm finna come get the baby. I'm finna do this. I'm finna do that." Like, like, they were so involved.
So
I didn't have a chance to fall into a depression or fall into a slump or whatnot. And it's dope to have for both parents to have that type of village. But when you don't think about that beforehand, and now you're in a situation where it's just y'all, it just makes that journey way harder. You got to think forward. We got to think past the fat ass. We got to think past. It's easy to say that shit now because niggas I'm older. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking to the young niggas. I'm talking to the young ladies.
Yeah.
Like, map that shit out.
Yeah, absolutely. Stop trying to pull out at the last second.
Yeah, like, no, we're not doing that.
Go rub that shit off before you make that decision.
For sure.
Yeah.
I also want to get into, like, I think what a lot of men do, postpartum or not, when women get very emotional, they run from it.
Yeah.
You go sit in the car before you come in the house. You know what I'm saying? You emotionally detached from the situation. Oh, we can talk about it later. You don't express in moments where she expressing herself. She talking, you know what I'm saying? She going off about this and that. You just staring at the game. Like, I don't know. Trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a time where you can't run from the emotions. I think that's very important. Being physically present, not enough in that time. You got to be emotionally and mentally present. This is tall orders. I don't want to make it sound like none of this shit is easy, because it's not.
But in the same breath, we do a lot of shit that ain't easy.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to take that same competitive mentality, that same grit that you got for everything else. Like, I ain't finna let this shit beat me. Ooh. Just shift that focus over to your woman. Like, okay, she take it as an opportunity to show up and really, like, now let's see what type of man you really are.
It's
all
so
that good
easy
shit you talk about.
to get distracted
Mm-hmm.
in relationships, like with your phone, your business. And he like, I'm working, and she like, bro, I just want you to just pay attention for like 5-10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm just speaking off like personal. Like, can't say how y'all did a situation or what y'all going through or whatever, but it's so easy to be distracted and to be standoffish. You have to be in a moment, present. Just off speaking of being married and just having a situation, you gotta be, because those things they'll take tally. You know what I'm saying? They'll keep it and then they'll hold it and they'll hold it. And you like you saying earlier, like, sometimes you don't know that she's paying attention to these little things, and then you don't want to get to that point where she explode. And now you like, why you ain't been saying that shit? And you're like, nigga. Like, why you not aware of what your actions are? Why you not being present? Why you don't want? Then it's like, why you don't want to be Wait, oh, you don't want to be here on you don't want to be talk to me. You don't want to, small things like that. So just be aware of your habits. Like you can't being on the phone, playing the games, going out, doing all that shit. It's like, your life has to change just as well as hers, because that's what I feel like they take on, the physical, and then the emotions just comes because like I said, I don't know exactly what we're doing. But in the arguments I have, like, you got to have people that been through, get around people that has been through what you was going through in situations like that. And then I had a conversation with my sister, man. She'll tell me, it's like, all right, so y'all in an argument, a situation may happen. What if her reactions, or what if nothing ever changes with her? And your actions and your, what would you call it, your approach to the conversation changes. If she never changes and you change, can you handle the situation? As far as like your reactions, because most of the time, the biggest arguments happens how we react on a situation. So we can be going at it and it can be chill, and then I explode, and now she's explode, and then there's a trickle down. And we just and it was like, all right, what happens if you never exploded? What happens if you just addressed it a different way? What happens if you was like, okay, I got it next time? And then don't take it as like, well, I gotta always dumb myself down for the situation or whatever. Like
leader.
But if you can't change a person. You can't. I can't tell you how to respond to me, but I can control how I respond to you. I can control how I change my actions towards you. And if your actions changes and hers don't, just see what happens afterwards. Because most times it's all about how you reacting to the situation and then how she responds to it.
Absolutely. When you mentioned being distracted, you instantly brought me back to my first relationship was with my son, mama. And I was in a relationship at the worst possible time. This was when Twitter was going crazy.
What the fuck did Twitter got to do with anything?
I'm going to tell you. When he was like, you in the phone or whatever, I vividly remember. Like, I'm talking about, it's throughout the day, it's at night. This was probably like 2011 or some shit. And I'm glued to my, Twitter is bussing.
Yeah.
Twitter busting.
Twitter was going crazy.
And I'm paying my shorty no attention at all,
Except
bro.
for like a group chat.
I'm talking about like I'm like this the whole day, and that's time to go to bed, and you always in that fucking phone, and I'm tweaking. But mind you, I'm fucking 21 years old type shit too. But yeah, being distracted, and that's happening now with a new generation of people. You know,
more distracted.
It's way more distracting now.
Shit, that was me. Pandemic Clubhouse. We was felt like I was at a party. They got a hand over there. Like, damn, my bad, baby. You hungry? Clubhouse busting.
Man.
What, man? Damn,
you see me? I'm in. I got the mic. The mic on me.
That was the party line.
Right.
They brought the party line back. But one thing I always tell my younger homies who having kids now in their mid-20s and shit like that. It's like, bro, your girl is never gonna forget how you act during this time. Like, and I know that from experience. It's mistakes that I made during a pregnancy, and it never, like, it's no forgiveness.
Bro, say to this day.
To this day, like it's worse shit that I did another time. She was like, "But nigga, I was pregnant." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like you gotta be, and it don't even gotta be nothing major. It could be just how often that you're not around, like you still going to parties, you still doing, like, she's never gonna forget that shit. Like, you gotta be on point during that time. Another thing I want to say though about moving the conversation about postpartum is that, like you said before, we're logical. We like to fix shit. You can't fix depression.
Yeah.
You can't fix postpartum. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Your girl going through this phase, a lot of times we want to solve it and just end it. And it doesn't go like that. Sometimes you just got to be present and listen. You know what I'm saying? Let people express, let people have their space to feel things all the way out. As men, we just naturally don't do that. My therapist always call it A plus B equals C. It's like the problem, you processing how you feel about the problem, you feeling the problem through, and then C is the solution. Men go from A to C. Problem solution. There's no filling out of anything. There's no, you know what I'm saying?
That was me as a kid. I never want to show my work.
Facts.
Like, why I gotta do all that? I got the answer.
I just showed you how I am.
Like, why do that matter? Like, you know, so I just want to put that message out there. So you can't fix that shit.
Yeah. Damn, you said something during that. Let me see.
It was the ABC's part that fucked you up.
Hell yeah, the simplest shit. We'll get it back.
For sure. Last thing I want to say about before we get into some other shit is one big tip that I want to give. Pause. That was crazy.
Whoa.
That
I was finna.
crazy. I paused myself. You can't say shit.
Wow.
Jesus. One gem I want to give guys that's just had a baby with a young lady. Non-sexual intimacy.
Oh man, yeah,
is extremely important. And the reason why I'm focusing on non-sexual, first, a lot of niggas don't know intimacy outside of sex. I didn't learn that shit to therapy. Like my therapist is like, "What is intimacy? What is intimacy to you?" And I'm just like, I kind of was thinking that she like,
when you go slow.
Nah, look, I just kind of got quiet and was thinking that she was like, not sex, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Foreplay.
And she was like, you got intimacy. Intimacy is just feeling a connection with somebody. You could have intimacy sitting in the room, not speaking or touching a person. You could just feeling connected in a moment is intimacy. You know what I'm saying? And creating those moments with your girl outside of sex, whether it just be cuddling, whether it be taking a nap together, whether it be, and the reason why I say non-sexual is also because your girl might be in a space to where she doesn't want to be sexual because her body is changing so much. She's looking at herself in the mirror. She not liking what she see, things like that. So, and she might be freaky as fuck still. You never know. Like, it varies.
Yeah.
It varies. You know?
Those may vary.
Fill it out.
Yeah, for sure. So,
that's dope.
Yeah. That's all I had on that, man. You got a man's perspective?
Yeah, I got like 2 parts. I was having a conversation with a young lady, and she has kids, right? And throughout the conversation, we talking, and I'm like she dope as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like her kid's father, like not around or whatever the case may be, cool. But that's not the only woman I know like that. Like I know some raw ass women who got kids and the baby daddies just ain't shit. And it's you almost look at it like, how the fuck did this happen?
How did y'all get a chance to do that?
How did this nigga? How's this your baby daddy?
Mm-hmm.
And I was really thinking about that, and I'm like, you know what? I think that niggas is catching y'all in a season where y'all are naive, because everybody gonna go through like a certain season with like right before you get to who you are, right before you get to your whole self, you're gonna make some dumb decisions or whatever. And you see like these dope ass women with like ain't shit baby daddies, like you niggas is coming in the naive season, you catching these women in a vulnerable state, and that's how that's happening. Mm. So I'm like, that's why it's important to kind of like prolong dating and tell you your whole self. I know that's hard to do. You know what I'm saying? We human, we got needs and stuff like that. Right. But especially when you know you in that season, when you know like you in a growing season or you in a transition, I've learned myself to not make decisions when I'm, you know what I'm saying, not my whole self. I remember when I was in I was coming out of like a heartbreak or whatnot. And I knew not to take a woman seriously because if I choose you right now, when I'm over this shit, I'm like, you probably ain't gonna be it for me. I was tweaking, you know what I'm saying? You was probably just filling the void. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, and even ladies, when y'all know, like, you know, when you not making the best decisions in your life or whatnot, slow down. Like, don't try to fill that void because it could come with a permanent decision. Now you in a position where you got this ain't shit nigga and you having postpartum depression, and we talking about all the shit we just talked about. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So that's that.
Y'all some woke niggas. I fuck with it.
Absolutely. Before we go to Patreon,
hold up, part 2.
Oh, my bad.
Shit.
Yeah, with the becoming more disciplined. So last week I talked about pretty much like if you want to be disciplined, starting with why you want to be disciplined. And step 2 is creating a vision, right? It's hard to be disciplined when you don't know what to do. Like think about the days where the night before you wrote out everything you were supposed to do the next day. That day is so productive. And even the day, compare that to the days where maybe you think you know what to do, you know what needs to get done, but it's like kind of scattered. Like I know I got shit to do, and you wake up, start your day, you forgetting shit, or let me do this. It's just a little chaotic. Discipline comes with clarity. If it's clear on what you're supposed to be doing on a day-to-day basis, it's way easier to be disciplined. And it's gonna take discipline to map that shit out. So create your list, get clear on what you want to do, And being disciplined is just gonna start to become easier and easier.
System and goals.
For sure. For sure. Absolutely. Before we go to Patreon, man, advice for boy moms. Listen, man. Sometimes you gotta force success on your kid. Sometimes you have to force success. Now it starts early, because when your kids are younger, you have to have that consistency to have the authority to make them listen to you. I mentor a lot of different kids, and I put a lot of different kids who having trouble in high school and online school. And what I'm noticing is that some of the non-black kids, particularly white kids, who aren't doing well in school, their parent is like, he's going to the military. He's going to try. Like it's not an option. You get what I'm saying? It's no option. Versus in our community, a lot of times, if a kid don't know what he want to do, your mom will sit back and like, well, nigga, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, now the clock might be an imaginary clock ticking for when she gonna kick you the fuck out. But she like, figure it out.
I feel like that's also not. I don't think that's always the right decision either.
What?
Just kicking a kid out some of the time.
Fuck no.
Oh hell no. That's
Fuck
the worst.
No. But I think we all have to remember this. A lot of times, when it comes to kids being successful outside of the household, when it comes to them finishing high school and having a plan, when I say forced success, what I mean is, my homie just called me. He's the manager of Frito-Lay. He called me like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and he was like, "Yeah, they had a job paying $64,000 for people to pick up chips on the truck and drop them off and stock them at gas stations, stuff like that. What's the requirements? Like, you gotta be 18, pass a drug test, have a driver's license. So like, it's the same requirements to work at Walmart, to work at McDonald's, or to make $64,000 a year. But of course, an 18-year-old isn't gonna look for those jobs because all his homies work at Dollar Tree, McDonald's. So when he think about getting a job, he thinking about working what he see other people working. You get what I'm saying? So it's just having that information and knowing what's going on. Also, when it comes to even, getting a job in high school, I tell a lot of the young guys I mentor, and I tell my son the same thing. You can't get no job and work after school because you go to school with 1,000 to 3,000 people every day. They need something. Go figure out what you can sell your friends, candy, white tees. You go buy a bundle of white tees for $2 each off Alpha Border and come to school and sell them for $7 each. Make however much, you know what I'm saying? And we can start figuring out how much you're going to save. And it could be a real learning experience, how to run a business, how to invest, how to save your money, whatever the case may be. But why would you add on 4 hours to your day working at Wendy's 3 to 5 times a week, making $15 an hour, which is $15 for 4 hours is what, $60 a day? Crazy, you know what I'm saying? You can't make that at school with 1,000 kids at your school. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't even let my kid. So for me, I wouldn't let my kid ever work an entry level minimum wage job. It's no reason for it.
Yeah.
Like in high school, figure out how to make money at school.
My mom set me up like that.
Yeah.
She took me to Sam's
collapse
Club.
your time.
Took me to Sam's Club, got me a box of candy, chocolate. And I had a girl in each division in class.
Yeah. Like, this nigga was advanced. I would do that shit myself.
Yeah.
Because I was starting selling too much. It was the demand. And the principal like put me in the office. They thought I was selling drugs.
Yeah.
They was like, how'd you making all this? I'm like, bro, like I'm selling candy.
Fruities, gang.
Machine broke, gang.
Yeah. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
So you got that. And then again, like I say, after high school, I got like young guys that's like, oh, I want to be like a barber, for example, right? And even with that, it's like, okay, that's dope that you have a plan, right? Being a barber is a grind. If you want to be a barber because you like cutting hair, cool. You could do that in your free time, right? And I know a lot of struggling barbers. I don't know no struggling overhead linemen. I don't know no struggling licensed electricians. I don't know no struggling licensed plumbers, right? So, and like you can have a passion about something. I want you to get some money and then make decisions about that passion down the road. Like whether you want to open a barbershop or you want to go full-time barber. It's just a lot easier to make money. Let's get you out of survival mode
trying
first
to skip those steps
and making a lot of fucking bread, and then we could go into that. So that's my advice for boy moms, man. Sometimes you got to force success. Sometimes you got to push things on your kid. It's a lot of trade school programs that are reduced, meaning that they usually have a morning and evening class. Now they just got a morning class, and they struggling to keep that open because there's nobody signing up. You know what I'm saying? But we got all these 18-year-olds running around with nothing to do. So,
and I would say start early before they get to 18. You don't have to worry about certain situations where you gotta like figure out a trade. Like at freshman, sophomore year, y'all gotta be hands on what these kids' habits are.
Yeah.
Where they working out, they want to play sports, but you ain't. Not eating right. They not working out. They not going to the gym. They not working on. It's like small little things that trickle up all the way up to when they get to seniors. Now you like, dang, my kid ain't, because you was chilling too.
Yeah.
And if you allow that to happen, man, that you got to, you know.
Absolutely. So you want to lead them with anything?
Leave? What?
Yeah. Like leave the audience with anything.
Man, I don't know, man. I feel like
you're a smart dude.
Huh?
You a smart dude. Lead them with something.
As far as just a topic we were just talking about, or
Nah, just
anything,
for life,
bro.
just for their life.
I would just say the world is your stage, and everyone plays a part in it. One, dress to the part you want to be in it, and position and put the people that you want in your life to get to the next level. Your next level is all going to be about relationships, who you know, who knows you, and opportunity. You got to go chase it. I don't care if you're the fastest. I don't care if you're the strongest. I don't care if you're the smartest. If you're not present, if you're not there, the opportunity not going to come to you. So you got to go out there.
Absolutely, man. So you know what we always say, man, we appreciate y'all walking this path of self-improvement. With me, with my boy Jones, with Cory, we always stand on that path, man. So whatever you're chasing in life, keep your foot on the gas, decide, plan, sacrifice.
Shoot the shoot.
So, God in the king.